a broadleaf dock for comparison. So not quite the same thing. If I stand back a bit, yeah, you can see just how broad the leaves are. They don't taper the same way as the other one, but this one, it doesn't look like it's matured properly yet, so yeah, it's still not quite there. You can see that it's not yet, flowers have not yet emerged. It seems to be wrapped in this papery sheath there. Let's see what else there is. There is also quite a bit of rhododendron here, which is also a non-native plant, but it's quite colourful. They're from the Himalayas, brought over as a garden shrub, but it's a rather invasive plant. It looks lovely, but the trouble is that it has a way of shading out everything, and you can see how dominant it gets, and that's not good for native plants. But on top of that, they produce a fungus that is toxic to anything else but rhododendrons, and so even if you were to clear it away, you couldn't plant it immediately with native species, because according to David Attenborough, the topsoil remains poisonous for another 7 years, in which time it could grow back. So getting rid of it is a very difficult thing to do, but you can at least make out the very long style, the very long stigma, and then the styles coming off of it. Nice and grooved on the side, and hairy pedicels. And the leaves, I'm sure you probably know what the leaves of these look like, but just to show you, they look almost leathery. And these are these seem to be the buds. I think eventually this would also produce a crown of pinkish purple flowers, but not yet mature. Yeah, not virtually nothing grows under them. Colourful though. Dendron. You can see just how tangled it is, these branches, and then, but also more importantly, the understory. Almost nothing is growing under it. Say maybe a few raspberries. Yeah, these can take over whole hillsides and do this. This is another plant that you'll probably be quite familiar with. These are nettles, or common nettles, as they're also called. I'm not going to handle this one for obvious reasons, because they do sting. But here's something you might not have seen before. These are the flowers on the nettle, and it seems to be flowering. Will it tolerate? Yeah, it's about as close enough. So this one I think is flowering. So if you've never seen a flowering nettle before, now's your chance. Something there, I think that might be like a phantom midgie or something. Let's see if I turn that around. There you go. Phantom midge. You can see the antennae on it. Slightly bushy. If you were watching some of my previous videos, then you may remember that I told you that how dandelions get about in terms of how they disperse. And so this is an example of one that has flowered, and yeah, has these nice little sails, little parachutes. See, that's about the idea. So here we have a yew tree. These are the needles. You can see on the slightly greener needles, I think these are like fresh growth, whereas the darker green needles at the back are older. But some conifers are doing that this time of year. This is one of our 3 native conifers. This one is a yew. The other 2 are Scots pine and juniper. All the other ones are introduced for timber, like Scots pine. No, not Scots pine. Sitka spruce, lodgepole pine. I think we do have European larch, so I'm not sure if that's introduced. It might be introduced. Not sure if we have it on our grounds here. But this is the tree. Now they used to make English longbows out of the wood of these trees because it's very, very elastic, can stretch really well. Trouble is though that these are fairly dangerous trees to work with because they do produce these red berry-like structures called arils, which are basically like red berries with a hole in the top with some seeds, and never ever eat those because the seeds in the middle are truly deadly. It's like one of the most toxic things out there, and that goes for the needles as well. And it was said that people who worked with the wood long enough, who handled the wood long enough of this tree, would get poisoned if they worked with it enough times for a long enough period. And so yeah, this is one to treat with respect.